All right, welcome back, my dear students. I hope you are excited and I hope you are motivated. If not, I want you to get very motivated. You're learning really cool stuff here, and the more you know, the better you will get, and the closer you are to your goal. Okay, so pay very close attention. Wake up, okay? All right, so we're going to be talking about configuration files and the environment variables or environment file. All right, right now I am in the environment file. When we have two of them, we have the .env.example and the .env. Now, when you're using Composer, Composer is going to create this two automatically. If you're not using Composer and you're doing this manually somehow, you're gonna get the .env.example file. Why? Well, because this is the thing. You never want to push this project to production with your personal information. Remember, this is a very sensitive data. We got API keys in here. We got database connection, driver information. All right. We got mail information, Redis information. There are a lot of things here that are personal, right, to your application. So what you do is you put all the necessary information in the .env file, .env.example file. All right, everything that makes the application work, and then everything else you just leave it as default. Now, when the other developer gets it over there in the other side, let's say you ship your application, you tell your team, "Hey, listen, I'm done with it. Now is your chance to keep developing." You're gonna send it with this .e example, and they're gonna have to rename it to .env to make it work. All right. So that's why you have this. Now, if you hear me saying constants or keys and values or whatever other thing that I use, know that these are actually called environment variables. This is an environment file, right? And this is kept, for those of you that know about GitHub, this is kept out of version control. All right, because it has a bunch of sensitive information. And basically, for those of you that don't know GitHub, GitHub is a repository, a place where you can put your project and other people can collaborate. Other developers can go in, look at your project, and say, "Oh, that's a cool project. Let me help them out," and they can contribute to your project. It's a pretty cool place. But anyway, you never want to send it to GitHub, right, with all your sensitive information, right? So this file gets ignored, and it gets ignored right here. Let me just double click that, and you can see this get ignore file has these files that it wants to that it is ignoring you in your application. It's ignoring all the vendors, the modules, even the this is for Homestead. All right, that's a virtual bots that you can hook up to your projects and you can make for your PHP development, which is pretty cool. And this is part of that Homestead, that JSON file, and we have all this right here. And also the .env is ignored. All right. So when you push this to GitHub using Git, this gets ignored, all your personal information, so no other developers can see that. So make sure that you never put sensitive information here. You put your sensitive information right here, and of course, don't copy and paste this stuff. Make sure that you take this off when you send it in. All right. If you push it to GitHub, it's gonna get ignored, so you're gonna be good. All right. So anyway, now that we know about the environment variables, remember, let me show you exactly how they're used. So now let's go to database, and actually let's go to configuration. Let's go to database.php and show you. So this file, that database.php, is returning an array. If you look at it, that's all it's doing. An array with a lot of keys and values, right? But not only keys and values, we're using helper functions there to define path. We're using the environment function here to pull out the key, to set the key and the value, right? And you can come here and you don't have to use this forge is the same thing as going to the .env right here and pulling this information from here. That's all he's doing. All right. As you can see, these keys right here, these environment variables, they're all the same in this side right here. They don't change. They're all the same. What changes is the information right here. So when you're setting this up, you don't have to come here and do it manually. You can if you want to, but what's the point of using the .env if you're not gonna use it, right? You come here and you set your values here. And this is where we're going to be setting our information for our database connection, our mail, and all that, right? So if you see, these are basically called connections, but they're drivers. So we have an SQLite driver, MySQL, Postgres, SQL Server, and all that good stuff. Now, for those of you that don't know SQLite, SQLite is a file-based database, meaning that we don't have to use some type of special program or anything like that. These are information, data saved in files. So if we have a small application, we don't want to deal with MySQL, we could deal with SQLite, and every information, every data that we have is going to be saved in files. So we're going to have a database.sqlite file with all the information about everything that we need for users or for posts, for categories. All that information is going to be saved in files. So that's what SQLite really is. And of course, some of you already know MySQL. We're going to jump into that later, all right? Because I like to use MySQL a lot, all right, for bigger applications. This is for small, very small applications. I can also show you how to use this. It's super simple, and we probably jump into that later on in the course, all right? So anyway, these are configuration files for our application. They're all right here. And the important sensitive information is right here. I want you to get familiar with it. Now, if you want to jump into this environment variable file, you can go to GitHub. I'll show you right now. Let me look at it right here. Let me show you this window. All right, if you go to this, this was created by Vance Lucas. All right, so right here you can get more information, and they will tell you why they're doing it like this, and they will even tell you where it comes from the Ruby and Rails. All right, so pretty cool stuff. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this lecture. I hope you got a lot of knowledge out of it, and I just hope that I answer some of your doubts about this file and the configuration files. We're gonna be using them later on in the course, so don't worry about it. All right, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next lecture.